What it do, Modified family? We're at work. It's 12:30 on a Sunday. I'm gonna put a few hours work into my Honda. I'd like to have this motor out, or mostly out today. My shop mechanic at work is helping me with some of the more critical internal stuff because I'm not good at that. I'm good, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. We can get this engine out by myself. I think I have the tools to do that, or at least at one point. Sometimes your tools just kind of disappear or walk away, and you just buy new ones from Harbor Freight because they're cheap. So today we're taking care of my 1997 Civic hatchback. It is right behind me. It's that white one. Let's get under the engine bay. Let's see what's going on. We just need to unplug a bunch of stuff because what's going to happen is the rings are going to be replaced because there was some oil that I think was getting in the combustion chamber and blowing into the exhaust, but it was still running strong, so I don't think the engine's blown. I have a new head gasket for it. I have new valve stem seals, and then, of course, new gaskets, valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket. Just when you open everything, it's good to seal all that stuff back up. So that is today, and of course, on my drive here from home, I was watching videos about how to remove an engine, even though I've made videos like that, and I know I can do it, but it's been a while. So you know what you got to do. Just give me 5 on my black hand side and let's go. This is all the stuff that needs to go in. Just a bunch of gaskets, valve stem seals, clearly labeled which ones are which, rings. I tried to get all quality stuff. This is not typically a race build. It's supposed to be reliable. It's supposed to last. And so I tried to get quality brands. I like Felpro. I try to get Honda Red Label bags. I like this brand a lot. I feel like this is either Honda's brand that they use or their recommended brand for aftermarket replacement. So that's why I went with all this stuff. Let's fast forward to the engine bay. I realized I left a few things at home, but that is okay. I need to drain the oil and coolant. I'll probably do that first. I'll jack that up. I don't know if I have the, 32 mil that does the axle nuts. If I do, I will pop those off because I'm not running the center caps on my wheels currently. They're in the car. And yeah, just unplugging a lot of things. I don't think the transmission needs to come out, but I was never the type that could separate the engine from transmission and leave the transmission in the car just to get the engine out. But it will eventually all have to come apart. But I think it'll be easier just for me to do the basic stuff. I can definitely take off my strut tower bar. That'll be easy. Battery will come out. A lot of this will come out super easy. I don't have too much to demo because I feel like if you're undertaking a task like this, you don't need to see like everything pulled off. Anything that's connected to the car needs to be disconnected so this bad boy can be free. Here, I'll give a little parts demo. Any clip comes off like that. Boom, one done. The injectors will have to come off. Anything electrical. My biggest tip for this is pull off the knock sensor. I'm gonna do that right after I click away from this video. I have been overzealous when removing the harness at times, and I snapped off my knock sensor plug. So this time I'm making sure I pull that plug off first, and the intake will come off. This thing should be pretty quick, and the engine bay is pretty cleaned up. I will clean it again. Once I got it either stripped down or off, I will give it a little scrub of the hood to get it clean, and any of the stuff that I can get water or scrub brush to. And I always forget to wear gloves, so I'm just gonna do this barehanded. I want try to be professional. That's not who I am, but I always want to be, and I have gloves. I just forgot to bring them. And this is the assortment of tools I have. It's not a lot, but it should be very Honda specific. So it should be pretty linear. All right, so we'll be back in a second. We'll see how much I get done. I'm thinking maybe short clips every 30 minutes or so. We started at 12:30. It is now 1 p.m. I know I'm gonna forget to notate that in videos, but it's 1 p.m. right now. Got a lot of the plugs off, injector plugs, intake tube off. It's all coming off super easy. You may notice how clean these sides are. The headlight harness is routed through that pre-existing hole that's already there. So no wires had to be cut. They just had to be depinned from the harness, put through, then run everything along the outside. It makes it a lot easier when you're taking the engine out or doing any kind of work to not have those wires accessible, because very rarely do I think those wires are the problem. Unless your headlights don't turn on and it's not the bulbs, then you would address that. But yeah, any of the pieces I'm just taking out, sitting on the floorboard of the car. so everything stays together. I now have this side up from the pinch weld. Always use the pinch weld, or if your core support is good, there are, well, don't lift it from your core support. I have made that mistake and took some fixing. Not on this car though, but there are the tow hooks in the front that they strap your car down to on a tow truck. So you can lift from those too. So yeah, so now I can get under here. I didn't use the best bolts for these. I mean, they work, but in retrospect, I would have done like nut search or something to hold these in. Also, you may have noticed how much blacker my hand has gotten in 30 minutes. So taking off some of these wires, I noticed that there was a bunch of grease like on my harness right here on this piece, and for the battery harness, on the firewall, and down there. So I think that I am going to buy at least an axle for this side, if not both. So by the end of the day, I will look at the other one and I will order both. I think the axles are fine, but I don't reboot them. It's like $100 for a new set. So let's just get clean new ones. And so when this engine goes back in, it'll have new ones of those. And that's one of the pluses for working on your own car, is that you get to see up close and personal what's happening. Is there a leak? Is there a gasket? Instead of just seeing like a puddle on the ground, you know exactly where it's coming from because you were the one that got in there and made it happen. All right, I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Okay, we ran over time. Not that I have a time limit, but just, it's been more than 30 minutes. It's been about 46 minutes because it's now 1:46. Starting at 12:30. Full harness is taken out. Did not break any of the electronics. The phrase that pays is just being careful. Just unclip everything individually. Just move it aside. Most things are pretty flexible. I drained the coolant. I spilled some, so I will have to clean this up. Just give it a good scrub. Every time I take off a hose clamp, I just push it to the opposite end. That way it won't move. And then I'll also loosen those hoses and I turn them up. So if there is any more fluid in there, which there definitely is, it hopefully will not leak out when the motor comes out. So now at this point, we have the trans mount holding it. So that's gonna stay. The post engine mount's holding it. That's gonna stay. And then the T-bracket, I would like to get the T-bracket out. It's probably the last thing I will do today. But I did drain the coolant. I did drain the oil. The one difference about this car than any of my other ones is I bought the JB tuned fuel tuck kit. It's worked great. Have not had any fuel leaks. Have not had any fuel delivery problems. So I definitely recommend that. It was not that expensive and it's super clean. And as you can maybe see, I shaved off the mounts where there would even be a stock fuel filter. So there was really no going back from there. But yeah, it worked great. And I do have an AN wrench just to take that on and off. So I took that off of there. So now this engine is free otherwise. The clips and hoses off the thermostat are all there. That one hose can stay on because it just loops to itself. All the PCV stuff can stay on because that just goes to the intake manifold. Everything from the throttle body and idle air control valve are off. That hose that connects to the back of the intake that is for the brake booster, that is off. Both plugs are off the alternator. The one plug plus the ground piece, whatever, like bolts to the top, those are both off. And then with anything that has a bolt, like I took off the throttle cable from the throttle body, but I took off the whole bracket just for ease, and I put these back in their place so that when it's time to put things together, everything is where you think it should be. And yes, while I was under there, both of the CV boots are torn and spit grease all over there. So I'm gonna do a clean after I get that T-bracket out. And then all that will have to happen is the header will have to come off and the shift linkage, and this bad boy's drop out ready. My mechanic has my cherry picker, so either he will pull it out of the top, or I will still bring it. I'll bring one of those little furniture carts from Harbor Freight. They hold like 1,000 pounds. They are absolutely perfect for sitting a Honda engine and transmission. Usually if you lift the car up high enough, you can just sit on that and then wheel it away to where you want it. And that's how I store all the extra engines I have in my garage in case I need to move them, in case I need to clean under them. It's super easy. They're like $12. Sometimes they're on sale for like $9. Get a couple. Even just for sitting a block on, sitting a transmission on, it just makes it very mobile. Even though this stuff is very pick-upable by an individual, when they're separate, it just makes your life that much easier. And as you get older, easing up is nice. So yeah, I just want to kind of clean up some of the grease on the sides. I need to plug up that hole in the firewall so that water doesn't get in there. There's another hole right there. Obviously, we'll keep the water away from the distributor. I'm not cleaning the engine right now, so it's not going to get water in the intake manifold. Yeah, anything that could stay on the car definitely did. Like, I could probably take this hose clean off, but I'm just going to bend it up like that so it's out of the way. You know, these can stay connected. Yeah, this went very, very well, very quickly. So in just about an hour, hour and a half, you can have a motor drop out ready. I mean, I might be an exception because I did delete anything that was not necessary, move wires that would seemingly be in the way to other locations safely. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm sad this project got delayed, but I should be able to leave in the AC and the radiator. They should not be a problem. Yeah. So yeah, pretty good. And I'm just storing the parts in the car. That way everything stays close. And I didn't want to take apart more stuff because I want the mechanic to be able to take it apart in the way he wants to, so he knows where all the pieces are for when it goes back together. So I will do one final video after this, probably 2 hours total on this. And hopefully the T-bracket will be out. I'm not doing it from the bottom. I'm hoping to be able to get it out from the top, which I know it's a hassle because, yeah, if you know, it's a B to get the T-bracket out. And then plug those 2 holes in the firewall and then just kind of clean up everything I can with the pressure washer and some degreaser and clean up a little bit of coolant that I spilled. Don't want animals getting into that. It's very hepotoxic. It messes with their liver. That's also why we don't want to drink it. All right, be right back. All right, so this was good. I did a little bit of scrubbing, a little bit of cleaning. I did not have the right brush. So yeah, so next time, engine mounts, all 3 of them have to come off. I got the 2 top bolts out, the 17s out of the T-bracket. Did not get those 2 19s. Those would be easier from the bottom, and I just was not going back under there. I just used these shop towels real quick to plug up these holes and try not to spend a lot of time putting water in there just to keep it out of there. But yeah, definitely better, definitely ready to go. I do have a few parts up here that I didn't really want to get left in pools of water, so I did not scrub this off. But once this engine is completely out, I will do more. If you could see on this frame rail, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, that's that grease that blew out, and I'm gonna have to use some hardcore degreaser to clean that. And also down there on the subframe, yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, that's all gonna get cleaned. And I don't even know if anyone would see it, but I'll know it's clean. I'm gonna order some new half shafts after this and just wait for some more help. I will bring that cart from home. So there will probably be a part 2 of this, of me just getting this prep to come out. Then the mechanic will do his work. He don't need to be supervised. And then when he's done, I will hopefully help him put it back in just to help move things along. Because left and right, I'm good at getting things in and out, but not so great with technical things like doing the rings. You have to measure the ring gap, anything in thousandths, rings, bearings. It's not my scene. I could gap spark plugs. That's about it. All right, Modified family. I hope to have more car content for you guys. I know that's why the 100 or so people that actually watch my channel are on here. They're not here for the guitar stuff. That's my guilty pleasure. But I hope you don't mind that. But yeah, this is the main focus of the channel. All right, Modified family, peace.